I died choking on my own blood in the back of that black SUV. The taste of betrayal as bitter as the antifreeze they'd laced my coffee with. My daughter Sophia's face was the last thing I saw. Her eyes cold and calculating as she whispered, "It's for the best,
Mom.
you'll thank me one day." But as the world faded to black, a sickening jolt ripped through me, like lightning cracking my soul in half, and suddenly, I wasn't dead. I was gasping awake in my old Brooklyn brownstone bed. 20 years younger. The morning sun slicing through the curtains like a knife. It was 2005, the year before it all went to hell. And I knew with bone-deep certainty, this was my second chance to bury that little monster before she buried me. The first thing I did was stumble to the bathroom mirror. My hands smooth, unscarred. The hands of a 35-year-old rising star in New York's cutthroat real estate world, gripping the porcelain sink until my knuckles whitened. Eliana Hargrove. That's me. Staring back with eyes that had seen too much in another life. The lines that should have etched my face from endless boardroom battles and whispered affairs weren't there yet. But the memories were. Every goddamn one. Sophia. My golden girl. The daughter I'd poured my soul into raising after her deadbeat father bailed when she was 5. She'd grown up to be a viper, twisting my empire of luxury condos and high-rise developments into her personal ATM, then poisoning me in that godforsaken parking garage to inherit it all. The cops called it an accident, faulty brakes.
They said.
Bullshit. I'd overheard her on the phone that night, laughing with her sleazy fiancé about the old bitch finally cashing out. I splashed cold water on my face, the shock of it grounding me. My phone, God, an ancient flip model, buzzed on the nightstand. A text from my assistant, meeting with the Goldman Sachs team at 10. Don't be late, boss. Normal. Too normal. But I wasn't that Eliana anymore. That woman had trusted too easily, loved too fiercely, and paid for it with everything. This time, I'd play the long game. I'd smile at the monsters in my life, feed them just enough rope, and watch them hang themselves. Starting with Sophia. Downstairs. The kitchen smelled like fresh coffee and the faint tang of my neighbor's weed wafting over from the fire escape. I brewed a pot, black. No cream. Because, trust me, I wasn't touching anything that could be tampered with again, and sat at the scarred oak table that had seen my late-night deals and Sophia's finger-painted masterpieces. She was 12 now. All gangly limbs and braces. Practicing her violin in the living room with that screechy determination that used to melt my heart.
Now.
It just made my stomach twist. I remembered the shift, the resentment building in her teens, the way she'd eye my success like it was a theft from her spotlight. By 30, she'd be a Harvard law grad with a silver tongue, charming investors while plotting my demise. But not this time. Mom, her voice piped up from the doorway, sleepy-eyed in her Powerpuff Girls pajamas. You're up early. Bad dream? I forced a laugh. The kind that echoed in those Hamptons cocktail parties where deals were sealed over martinis. Something like that.
Kiddo.
Pancakes. Her face lit up. And for a split second, the monster wasn't there, just my baby girl. Innocent as apple pie. But I knew better. I'd seen the emails, the forged documents, the way she'd siphoned millions into offshore accounts before the accident. This was the fork in the road. Change her, or watch history repeat. As I flipped batter on the griddle, my mind raced. My empire started here, the Brooklyn loft conversion that put me on the map, snatching properties from under the noses of the old guard. In my first life, I'd built it all for Sophia's future. Irony of ironies. She'd torn it down for her own. Step 1. Secure the foundation. I'd need allies, real ones. My lawyer, Marcus Hale, the grizzled ex-prosecutor who'd warned me about family sharks once I'd ignored. And my sister Lena, the no-nonsense accountant who died of cancer before she could expose Sophia's schemes. This time, Lena lived. This time, I made sure. By noon, I was in Midtown, the subway rattle a familiar grind under my heels. The Goldman meeting was a powder keg. They wanted in on my waterfront project, but their terms were highway robbery. In the old timeline, I'd caved, desperate for capital, and that debt became Sophia's leverage years later. Not today. I walked into that glass-walled conference room like I owned the view of the Hudson, my tailored pantsuit hugging curves I hadn't earned yet. Gentlemen, I said, sliding into the leather chair at the head, let's cut the foreplay. Your offer's a joke. And you know it. The room went pin-drop silent. Lead guy, a slick Wall Street type named Harlan, blinked behind his rimless glasses. MS. Hargrove. We. Save it. I leaned forward, channeling every ounce of the battle-hardened Eliana who'd stared down mobbed-up landlords. I need 20% more equity, veto on zoning changes, and a clause for early exit if you drag your feet on permits. Or I walk to Blackstone. Murmurs rippled. Harlan's jaw ticked, but his eyes gleamed. Respect. Maybe. Or the thrill of a worthy adversary. We haggled for 2 hours, the air thick with coffee breath and veiled threats. By the end, I had my terms, plus their card for future collaborations. Walking out, pulse hammering, I felt it. Power. Real power. Not the illusion Sophia had stripped away. That night, Sophia's school recital was a blur of off-key notes and proud parents. I clapped on cue, but my eyes scanned the crowd. There, Lena, nursing a gin and tonic, her laugh cutting through the chatter like a lifeline. In the old life, I'd let distance grow between us, too buried in work.
Mistake.
After the applause died, I cornered her by the punch bowl. Eli, she said, hugging me tight, her perfume all jasmine and cigarette smoke. You look like you swallowed a lemon. What's eating you? Life, I said, clinking my plastic cup to hers. And death, if I'm not careful. Listen, I need your eyes on my books. Starting tomorrow. She arched a brow. That sharp gaze, missing nothing. You're the queen of clean deals.
Sis.
Why the paranoia? Because your sister's kid is a ticking bomb. Call it a premonition.
Just.
Trust me. She nodded. No questions. That's Lena, loyal to the marrow. The weeks blurred into a frenzy of double lives. By day, I was the unstoppable Eliana Hargrove, flipping brownstones into million-dollar co-ops. My name whispered in real estate circles like a curse or a prayer. The waterfront deal closed, injecting cash into a war chest I'd need. By night, I dug.
Quietly.
My laptop, a clunky Dell that felt like a toy, hummed with searches, child psychology forums, articles on sociopathy in teens, financial fraud case studies. Sophia's violin lessons masked my eavesdropping on her whispers with friends about rich kids and what I'd do if I had the money. One evening, as rain lashed the windows, she cornered me in the study. Mom, why are you always on the computer? It's creepy. I looked up, feigning casual. Research.
Soft.
For work.
Hey.
How about we talk about your future?
College funds.
Maybe. Her eyes narrowed. Just a flicker. But I caught it, the calculation. Yeah? Like Harvard. Or better. I smiled. Teeth bared. But it takes planning. Trusts. Investments. No shortcuts. She shrugged. But I saw the wheels turn.
Good.
Let her think she could charm her way in. The first crack appeared at Thanksgiving. Family dinner at Lena's cramped queen's apartment. Turkey sweating under foil. The TV blaring Giants highlights. Sophia, all innocence, asked about my big secret project. I played along, dropping hints about a family trust I'd been setting up, irrevocable, ironclad, with Lena as trustee. Marcus Hale drafted it that week, his office reeking of cigars and old law books. You're playing hardball, he'd grumbled. Pen scratching. This locks out anyone without your say-so. Even blood. Blood's the thinnest, I'd replied. He laughed, but his eyes lingered, like he sensed the storm brewing. Sophia overheard. Of course. Kids that age are sponges for secrets. That night, back home, she sulked in her room, blasting Avril Lavigne. I knocked, entered with hot cocoa, peace offering. Recon mission. What's wrong?
Bug.
You never tell me anything anymore. Her voice cracked. Accusatory. Like I'm not part of this. I sat on her bed, the fairy lights casting halos on her posters. You're everything.
Soft.
That's why I'm protecting it. The world's full of people who'd take it away. Like who? Challenge in her tone. Anyone who thinks they deserve it more. I held her gaze, the weight of 2 lifetimes pressing down.
For a heartbeat.
She softened, leaning into my shoulder. My heart ached. Was this salvageable? Or was the poison already seeping in? But the next morning, I found her diary tucked under her mattress. Curiosity? Paranoia? Call it survival. Pages of girlish scrawls, dreams of mansions, resentment at my endless meetings, a doodle of a crown on her name. And buried deeper, Mom's money equals my future. Dad left nothing. Fair's fair. Chill down my spine. It wasn't full-blown yet, but the seed was there, nurtured by neglect I hadn't even committed this time around. I closed it, hands shaking. Time to accelerate. Christmas came like a freight train, all tinsel and tension masked by Bing Crosby crooning on the radio. I'd ramped up the charm offensive, family's ski trip to Vermont, where Sophia's laughter on the slopes almost drowned out the echo of her future betrayal. Almost. Back in the city, snow blanketing the stoops like a shroud, I hosted the annual Hargrove Holiday Bash, black tie in my newly renovated loft. Skyline views that screamed old money, new grit. Investors mingled with artists, champagne flutes clinking like fragile truces. That's where I met Victor Kane again.
Tall.
Dark. Dangerously charming, the architect who designed my first big flip. In the old life, he'd been a one-night stand turned regret. His wandering eye feeding Sophia's later manipulations. This time, I'd keep him at arm's length, but close enough to use. Eliana, he purred over eggnog, his hand brushing my elbow. You look like you could conquer the world. Again. Already have, I shot back, sipping slow. Care to design the next empire? We talked shop till the wee hours. His blueprints for a sustainable high-rise aligning perfectly with my vision. Ally potential, high. Romantic entanglement, 0. Lesson learned. Sophia watched from the stairs, her new iPod earbuds dangling like accusations. Jealousy? Already? At 13. She was budding into that sharp beauty that would later weaponize boardrooms. I pulled her into the fray, introducing her to the guests as my secret weapon. She beamed, but later, in the cab home, she muttered, "Everyone loves you." What about me? You're the heart of it. Sophomore.
Lies.
Half-truths, the currency of survival. But inside, the plan crystallized. Expose the rot early.
Or excise it.
New Year brought resolutions and revelations. Lena's audit uncovered nothing amiss, but she flagged anomalies in my personal accounts. Small dips I'd chalked up to market flux. "Someone's testing the waters," she said over lunch at a greasy diner. Pastrami sandwiches steaming between us. "You piss off a client?" "Worse," I said, voice low. "Family." Her fork paused midair. "Sophia? Come on."
Eli.
"She's a kid. Kids grow into wolves." I laid it out, not the death, not the rebirth, just the gut feeling of impending fraud. Lena's face hardened, the big sister protector emerging. "Consider me your bloodhound." Marcus was next. His office, a fortress of mahogany and yellowed briefs, became my confessional. Hypothetically, I started, pacing. If a family member tried to undermine you, forge docs, skim funds, what's the play? He leaned back, steepling fingers. Hypothetically, you sue their ass into next week. But blood? Messy. Emotionally. Legally. He eyed me sharp. "This ain't hypo, is it?" I hesitated, the flip phone in my pocket a relic of this era's naivety. "Make the trust bulletproof. And draw up contingencies for everything." By spring, the waterfront project boomed. Groundbreaking ceremonies with ribbon cuttings and press flashes. My face on the Post's real estate page. Hargrove's gamble pays off. Sophia tagged along. Her braces gone courtesy of my bonus check. Her questions probing. "Mom, when do I get to run something?" "Soon, I'd say." Ruffling her hair. "Prove yourself first." She did, in ways that chilled me. Straight A's. Debate club champ. Even volunteering at a youth shelter. Model daughter. But the diary entries evolved. Mom's trust loophole? Ask Uncle Marcus. I'd planted a bug in her room. A cheap nanny cam disguised as a teddy bear. Ethical?
Hell no. Necessary?
Abso-fucking-lutely. The first Real slip came in June. Heat wave turning the city into a pressure cooker. Sophia's birthday party. Poolside at my New Jersey Shore rental. Teens splashing while I grilled burgers. Victor showed. Platonic arm candy. His laugh booming. Sophia cornered him by the cooler. Voice too low for casual chatter. The cam caught it later. "You like her,
Right?
she's always alone. Bet she'd share if you asked nice." My blood ran cold. Grooming an affair to destabilize me? At 14? The sociopath seeds sprouting thorns. I confronted her that night. Beach bonfire crackling. Waves crashing like accusations.
Soph.
"What's with Victor?" She blinked, all wide-eyed. "Just talking. He's cool. Cool enough to trash-talk your mom?" Her chin jutted. "You trash-talk Dad all the time. He left us nothing." There it was, the wound I'd ignored in both lives. Her father's abandonment. The child support battles. My workaholic rise filling the void with nannies and neglect.
Guilt twisted like a knife.
He was a coward.
Soph.
But that's not on you. Or me. Tears welled. Real ones. I just want
More.
for us. Hug her? Comfort?
Or push.
The controversial call. I walked away. Earn it. Don't scheme for it. Harsh for a kid. But mercy had killed me once. Summer deepened the divide. I threw myself into work, expanding to Chicago, loft conversions in Wicker Park, poaching talent from rivals. Lena's reports showed phantom transactions, $500 here, $2,000 there, routed through a teen debit card in Sophia's name. She denied it. Of course, hacked.
Mom.
Some loser at school, but the IP traced to our home Wi-Fi. Trust eroded like sandcastles at high tide. I installed software on her laptop, monitored her emails. Innocuous at first, fanfic about rich girls outsmarting parents. Then, searches for Emancipation Laws New York, trust fund loopholes minors. Fall brought schools starting. Crisp leaves crunching under my Louboutins as I dropped her off. Love you, I said, routine words laced with subtext. Whatever.
Door schlimm.
The rift widened. Then, the catalyst, Dad's letter. Out of the blue, a manila envelope from California, postmarked with regret. Richard Hargrove, the sperm donor who'd vanished. Writing after a decade of silence. Heard about your success. Ellie. Proud. Maybe time to reconnect? For Sophia's sake. I burned it in the sink. Flames licking the edges. In the old life, I'd let him back in charmed lunches. Joint ventures that Sophia exploited to paint me as the villain. This time,
No.
but Sophia found the ashes. You threw it away? He's my dad. He's poison. Voice steel. He left us to rot. You left me, she screamed, face crumpling. Always working. Always gone. The fight spilled into the street. Neighbors peeking from curtains. Controversial decision number 2. I didn't back down. Grow up, Sophia. Life's not a fairy tale. It's a battlefield. She ran to her room. Door locked. I called Lena. She's spiraling. Get her into therapy discreet. Therapy sessions started.
DR.
Ellis, a soft-spoken shrink with a Park Avenue office. Reports trickled in anger issues. Abandonment fears. Progress? Maybe. But the cam showed late-night calls to Richard. Grandpa? Yeah. Mom's being a bitch. Winter loomed. Holidays a minefield. I fortified. The trust expanded. Assets in LLCs Lena controlled. Prenups for any future flings. Victor proposed collaboration on the Chicago build, professional only. Good man. Bad timing. Then, the text that shattered the facade. Not from Marcus, from an unknown number. Tell Sophia to stop digging. Or we both go down. Attached, a blurry photo of forged checks. My signature scrawled in Sophia's childish hand. My hands trembled as I forwarded it to Lena. The game had begun. My daughter wasn't just scheming, she was allying with ghosts from my past. Richard? Or worse, that night, as snow fell soft on the brownstone, I sat in the dark. Revolver, legal, licensed, from my nightstand drawer in my lap. Not for her. For whatever came next. Rebirth wasn't a gift, it was a curse with teeth. And Sophia? She was learning to bite back. The anonymous text hung over me like smog over the skyline, thickening with every unanswered ping. I didn't confront Sophia, not yet. Knowledge was ammunition, and I was stockpiling. Instead, I traced the number, burner phone, bought at a bodega in Hell's Kitchen. Useless. But Lena's forensic accounting wizardry pulled threads. The forged checks linked to a P.O. box in Jersey, rented under a fake name, S. Hargrove. My blood boiled. At 15, she was forging my signature like a pro, siphoning lunch money into a secret savings for freedom.
Dr.
Ellis's sessions amped up, but Sophia played the victim card hard. Mom's paranoid. Thinks I'm a thief. The doc suggested family counseling. I agreed, but only on my terms, recorded, with Marcus reviewing transcripts for legal landmines. Our first session was a powder keg in a beige room, Kleenex boxes like white flags. Eliana, Ellis prompted. Share your fears. I leaned forward, eyes on Sophia's defiant slouch. I fear losing everything I've built. To someone I love. Subtext you. She rolled her eyes. You already lost me. With your secrets. Ellis nodded sagely. Communication breakdown. Common in high-achieving families. High-achieving?
Try high stakes.
I bit my tongue on the truth, the poisoning, the inheritance grab, the way she'd testify against me in court for elder abuse in my final days. Instead, Soph, I want you in the business.
Shadow me.
Learn. Her scoff. So you can control me forever? The session ended in stalemate, but it cracked her facade. That night, she snuck out. Cam caught the window, climbed to the fire escape. Destination: Richard's Motel Dive in Queens. Courtesy of Lena's tale. They met in the parking lot. My ex in a cheap suit, hugging her like lost treasure. Words muffled, but gestures screamed. Promises. Cash envelope.
Tears.
I watched the footage till dawn. Gut churning. Controversial call 3. No cops. Not yet. But I wired Marcus. Full custody petition. Alienation of affection.
Now.
Spring 2006 bloomed with betrayals. The Chicago project hit snags, permits delayed by anonymous tips to City Hall. Victor's intel, whispers of insider sabotage. Sophia's laptop history, searches for zoning board complaints Chicago. She'd called in favors from Richard's old cronies, the ones I'd blackballed in my rise. Confrontation came Memorial Day weekend. Hampton's house party raging, yachts bobbing, celebs schmoozing. I pulled her aside to the dune path. Atlantic roaring approval. The tips. Soph. You're doing? Blank stare. Then fire. You deserve it. Pushing Dad out. Hoarding everything. He's using you. Wind whipping her hair like Medusa's snakes. To hurt me. Better than you using me. Scream echoed. Your perfect life? I hate it. I grabbed her arm, gentle, but firm. Then leave. But you won't get a dime. Slap across my face. Sting like lightning. Partygoers gawked from afar. She ran.
Toward the beach.
Sobs swallowed by waves. Victor found me later. Ice pack in hand. Rough night. Family tradition. We talked till stars pricked the sky, his divorce scars mirroring mine. Temptation flickered, but I shut it down. No distractions. Lena's next bombshell. Richard was bankrupt. Gambling, debts up to his eyeballs. The envelope? Seed money for Sophia's escape fund. They'd plotted more. Identity theft. Using my credit for her emancipation. Enough. I flew to California unannounced, confronting him in a dingy bar off the Vegas Strip. Stay away from my daughter, or I'll bury you in lawsuits till you choke. He smirked, whiskey breath foul. She's mine too.
Ellie.
And smarter than you think. Smarter? Or just meaner? I slid a flash drive across the bar. Evidence of his fraud.
Courtesy of a PI.
One call to the feds. And you're done. He paled. Blustered. Blackmail? Classy. Protection. I stood. Heels clicking exit. For her soul. Back east. Sophia vanished for 2 days, couch surfing with friends. When she returned, hollow-eyed, I didn't yell. I cooked lasagna, her favorite, and laid cards on the table. Therapy's not enough. Boot camp. Summer program in Colorado. Structure. Or juvenile court for the forgeries. Ultimatum.
Her choice.
She chose camp, tears streaming as the bus pulled away. I hate you. Join the club. Door closed. Heart shattered, but mended with resolve. Months passed in uneasy truce. She returned tanned, tougher, stories of ropes courses and trust falls that rang hollow. Schoolwork improved, but the eyes? Wary, watchful. Victor and I sealed the Chicago deal. His firm handling blueprints, my company equity.
Romance?
Simmered low. A kiss stolen at a gala, fireworks. But I pulled back.
Not now.
Demons first. Fall harvest brought harvest of secrets. Marcus's text lit my BlackBerry. Call now. Trust docs compromised, Sophia's prints on the originals. Panic surged. She couldn't have, but the lab confirmed. While at camp, she'd swiped copies from my safe, coached by Richard via smuggled phone. High alert. I locked down assets, shell companies in Delaware, offshore whispers with Cayman advisors. Lena, you're building a fortress. What's the siege? Her. Simple truth. Thanksgiving 2006. Tense dinner. Just us 3 sisters and niece. Sophia picked at turkey, avoiding eyes. Post-meal, she cornered me in the kitchen. I know what you did to Dad. Protected us. Sink water rushing like confession. He's telling everyone you're crazy. Paranoid. And you're his echo. I dried hands, faced her.
Choose. Soft. Us.
Or him. Silence stretched. Then you. Relief? Or ploy? The cam showed her later. Deleting Richard's number. Progress. But winter winds howled warnings. Victor proposed. Dinner at Le Bernardin. Ring glinting like a trap. Build with me.
Eli.
Not just empires. Tempted. God.
Yes.
But the old life flashed. His affair. Sophia's wedge.
Slow.
Please. He nodded, but doubt shadowed his eyes. New Year's Eve. Times Square crush. Confetti dreams. Sophia and I watched from a rooftop bar. Champagne bubbles rising. Sorry, Mom. Whispered. Genuine? Forgiven. Arm around her. But my phone buzzed unknown. She's playing you. Watch your back. Twist of the knife. Who? Richard? Or deeper? The real storm broke in February. Snowstorm blanketing the city. Sophia's school project, a mock trial on corporate greed. Her closing. The queen takes all. Leave scraps. Eyes on me. Venom veiled. After. Parent-teacher night. Her advisor pulled me aside. Sophia's brilliant.
But.
Manipulative. Bullied a classmate over inheritance rights. Gut punch. The monster peaked. I drove home in whiteout fury. Tires slipping. Home. Dark. Except her room light. Burst in, she on the phone. Voice low. Yeah.
Grandpa.
Mom's slipping. Soon. Drop the bomb. Hang up. She froze. It's nothing. Richard. Phone snatched. Game over. Screams. Accusations. You spied. You're the monster. Survival. Pinned her with stare. Confess. Or cops tomorrow. Tears. Then truth. The forgeries. The tips. The plots. All to prove she could run it better. Richard's puppet strings. Controversial call for no jail. But emancipation denied. Therapy mandated. Trust frozen till 25. Earn trust. Or lose it all. She crumbled.
Begged.
Don't hate me. Can't.
Lie.
Hate simmered. But love? Twisted remnant. Spring thawed ice. But not us. Victor walked. Too much baggage. Leaving blueprints and broken what-ifs. Lena stood firm. Auditing shadows. Marcus. You're winning. Eli. But at what cost? Everything. And nothing. By summer 2007, Sophia was better. Debate nationals win. Internship at my firm supervised. Smiles returned.
Tentative.
But I slept with one eye open. Revolver loaded. Then, the call that ignited the fuse. Marcus. Voice grave. Eliana. Emergency meeting. Your father's filing suit. Claims fraud on the trust. Sophia's the star witness. Betrayal's encore. She'd played me. Therapy tears. The sorry. All theater for the long con. Rage.
Pure.
But this Eliana?
She didn't break.
She burned. The summons hit like a gut punch. Served at my office amid the hum of printers and the scent of fresh ink. Richard Hargrove v. Eliana Hargrove. Et al. Alleging undue influence. Fraud. The works. Sophia's affidavit attached. Pages of lies. Painting me as the tyrant who'd stolen her inheritance. Coerced the trust. Spied like a Stasi spook. My mother is unstable, it read. Driven by paranoia from her rebirth. Wait.
No.
That was my secret madness bleeding through. But the venom? Pure her. I crumpled it, storming to Marcus's office through slushy streets. Coat flapping like war banners.
How?
The prints. The deletions. He steepled fingers. Face etched with regret. She lawyered up. Pro bono from a firm Richard charmed. Smart girl. Twisted the narrative. Victim of overbearing mom. Victim. The words stuck like bile. In the old life, this playbook had worked. Courts swayed by tears. Juries eating the poor daughter shtick. I'd lost appeals. Assets frozen. Health crumbling till the poison finished it. This time?
No.
Countersuit, I growled. Defamation. Alienation. The forgeries. Bury them. Will do. His phone buzzed. Lena. Kids in the wind.
Packed a bag.
Took the Amex. Panic clawed. I raced home. Brownstone echoing empty. Note on the fridge. Can't breathe here. Tell Dr. Ellis I'm sorry.
Love.
Sophomore.
Love.
The knife twists deepest from familiars. Called Victor. X.
But ally.
Track her credit. Please.
Done.
Voice steady. The one-eyed pushed away. Lena mobilized. PI networks. Campus alerts. Sophia surfaced in Philly, crashing with a debate rival. Richard wiring cash from a casino ATM. I flew down, heart hammering, confronting her in a dingy dorm lounge, vending machine glow casting her gaunt.
Ileana. Flat.
Like I was the intruder.
Home.
Now.
Why?
So you can lock me away? So you can face this. Affidavit slapped on the table. Lies.
Soph.
All of it. Her laugh, bitter. Broken. Truth hurts more. You changed after that dream. Paranoid. Controlling. Like you died and came back wrong.
Chill.
Had she sensed the shift? My two perfect moves? The anachronistic edge? People change. To survive. I wanted in. You shut me out. Tears now.
Real.
Grandpa said you'd come around. That we could team up. Team up. Roar whispered. To destroy me? He said you stole his ideas. The flips. The deals. Lies. But doubt flickered. In the haze of first life exhaustion, had I borrowed from Richard's old pitches? Uncredited.
Yes.
Guilt's shadow. We talked till dawn, raw, ragged. Her pain, abandonment layered on abandonment. My fault, partially. The rebirth sharpened my edges, but the core wound, mine to own. Come home, I said finally. Fight fair. Or lose everything. She chose home. Tentative thaw. Court prep became boot camp. Marcus drilled us. Depositions. Evidence trees. Sophia recanted. Partial. Tearful testimony. I was angry. Manipulated. Richard's suit crumbled. His debts exposed in cross-exam. Judge. Frivolous. Sanctions. Victory tasted ash. Richard slunk back to Vegas. Disbarred from my life forever. Sophia? Probationary trust access. Therapy till college. Prove, I said. Daily. Summer healed fractures. Chicago ribbon cutting. Sophia at my side. Speech polished. My mom taught me, build, don't burn. Applause thundered. Victor attended. Eyes lingering, second chance. Fall brought Harvard acceptance, early decision. My strings pulled discreetly. Drop-off day. Crimson leaves. Her hug fierce. I get it now. The pressure. Use it. Kissed her forehead. Not let it use you. Years blurred. My empire sprawled to LA. Sustainable towers piercing smog. Sophia interned. Then junior exec, sharp, but tempered. No forgeries. No plots. Therapy stuck. She even forgave Richard's ghost.
But the twist?
It came quiet. 2015. My 45th birthday.
Penthouse party.
Skyline glittering. My phone buzzed Marcus. Call now. Heart stuttered. Old fears. His voice grave.
Ileana.
The old trust docs dug him up for a client audit. Found something buried. From 2005. Dread pooled. What? You didn't forge the originals. Like we thought.
Someone else did.
Preemptively. Silence roared.
Who?
Your father. Richard. He planted them years before, waiting for a crack. Jaw dropped. The forgeries? His setup. Grooming Sophia as pawn from afar. I'd blamed her. Punished her for his sins.
Guilt tsunami.
I'd almost broken her for nothing. Raced to her dorm, Columbia now. Law track. Found her studying. Lamp haloed. Sophomore. Collapsed on the bed. The truth. About everything. Words tumbled. Not the death. That stayed my abyss, but the setups. My changes. The overcorrections born of phantom betrayals. I thought you were the monster. But it was fear. Mine. She listened, eyes wide. Then, I knew something was off. Like you saw the future.
Laugh. Soft.
Creepy. Mom. Forgive. Already did. Hug. Bone deep. Twice over. Relief wept out. Victor waited outside, re-proposed that night. Under stars. Third time's charm? Yes. The Empire?
Ours now.
Sophia's firm handshake sealed her first solo deal a year later, Ecolofts in Brooklyn. Full circle. But the real rebirth? Not mine alone. We'd both risen from ashes, forged stronger. Scars badges. In quiet moments, mirror gazing, I see it. Lines earned fair. Eyes clear. No ghosts. Just us. Against the world. And if whispers of old poison stir?
Well.
This Eliana's armed. With love. The deadliest weapon.